Good morning, everyone. How's everyone doing today? Hopefully everyone is good. Good morning, Franco, when you wake up in HSD. I'm sure we'll be joined by a couple of our friends pretty soon. Hope everyone is doing good. Not everyone all at once, please. Oh my God. I am very tired today. Just woke up at 2 p.m. What? That is crazy, my friend. I woke up at something like 5 a.m. Been awake 3 hours now. This is coffee number 3. And so I'm going to have to not have too much coffee today. How's it going, JB? So this thing then, C3P Grow. You've been up as well. Good morning, Locke. So I've got an interesting question to my inbox yesterday, and I replied with, my reply was, I got your email, but I don't want to send a reply yet. I want to put a lot of thought into it and then reply. But someone messaged me and asked me, what resources should they use to get started in, like, repairing electronics? Oh, this is backwards. Please don't do that. And that got me thinking. How's it going, MT? So good morning, HSD, JB, Lockwatcher, and MT. I'm assuming Gerald will stop by a little bit later. I'm assuming Franco will wake up a little bit later. So that got me thinking, like, how does a total beginner, like a complete beginner, start in electronics, diagnostics and repairs? I don't think the correct answer is going to be to read a bunch of textbooks. I don't think that's the correct way to go about it. I almost feel like you get started by building kits. Am I wrong? Am I wrong about that? Do you get started by building kits and taking apart everything you could growing up? Yeah. So this is about an adult, though. So let's say you're an adult and you don't really know much about electronics or anything like that. Imagine you just, let's say you're a baker. You do baking. Where do you start? And I don't know. I feel like getting started is more about, I'm going to flip on the 3D printer while I'm here, is more about doing than reading. It's hard, right? In coding, you kind of like, you pick a language and you follow tutorials. But when it comes to electronics, oh, for sure. For sure, they have desire to learn. When it comes to electronics, like, where is step 1? Because I didn't do a step 1. Right? Automotive is want or want not, automotive is very much integrated in electronics. So I had at least a base before I started in electronics. So I knew how to use a multimeter. I knew the relationship between power, current, resistance, and electromotive force. I knew how to solder already. I mean, yeah, soldering for electronics is different, but it's not like completely different. It's not like completely devoid of similarities. It's very similar. So, like, where is step one? Because you can't jump into the EEV blog with zero knowledge, because even Dave Jones's basics, even Dave Jones's like basic videos, Ohm's law, it kind of requires the knowledge of some jargon. Right? Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like step one is to, I don't know what it is. Maybe step one is to buy an electronics component kit, and maybe it's to buy an electronics component kit and start with basic circuits. I kind of feel like I need to develop an electronics education program. I feel like my teaching background is helpful here. And I feel like I can do it. But the problem is it will be a multi-year engagement for sure. The 130 in one electronics kit is amazing, got many started. Yeah, I have one here. This really needs to be done with like a cotton swab or something. Just trying to clean up a little bit of the flux residue. I have one here I bought, I think at a thrift store. It's buried somewhere. But it's not, this one, I didn't find it very fun. The connections are very sketchy. The springs don't do a very good job. But I think if you're an adult and you have the proper guidance, I think breadboarding is not a bad start. I don't think a breadboard is a bad start. Nope. My only problem is I am stretched so thin already. If I committed to making this program, it will take me years. So where is my workbench? Is an absolute mess because we are building things. Here. Oh, there's like dust on it. So this is not from my youth. I believe this was from a thrift store or Kijiji or something. Is this? Yeah. So This is half in French, half in English. Oh my God, there's... I may have a transformer. It may be in this kit the whole time. But this is a chonker of a book. Science Fair, 130 in one. Here's the transformer with the center tap. Looks like it got a little smushed. It's made out of cardboard. You got a potentiometer, got a 7-segment. I think there's a speaker behind here. You got a couple of resistors, a couple of capacitors, a dual pole single throw switch, a momentary switch. Here, let me see if I can give you a better angle. Oh, sorry. Some capacitors. These ICs. So, dual op amp. BA728, quad 2-input NAND. Can't read what the text says. A couple LEDs with resistors. So you've got the LEDs sans the resistor. Is that what that is? Is that a, I don't think I've ever built anything with the quad NAND gate. Oh. It does smell like it got hot. It does definitely smell like it got hot. Because this one doesn't smell as bad as this one. So from the back smells like cardboard. From the front it does smell like burnt electronics. That is possible. A couple transistors, PNP. 2 PNPs, 1 NPN. It's interesting. Must be 3904s. A783 for the PNPs and C945 for the NPNs. Well, it's I don't know, it smells bad. So I think it's burnt. But yeah, I want to put a lot of thought into it, because where does one start is a good question. Because honestly, I don't know. I'll have to put myself in those shoes, and I'm gonna have to come up with an answer, because it is a good answer. It is a good question, especially because people are practical. Right? Some people are practical, some people are theoretical. So yeah, just a thought. You know, it got my brain going. Ugh. And honestly, I tried to do a couple circuits on this thing, and the diagrams are so shit. Like, there's so many wires to run, and it's very hard to tell where the wires are going. Oh shit, I didn't put the book back in. Where's the book? Like, here, let's take a look at some random page. So this is pretty easy. It's number 32. Oh yeah, they stopped telling you where to put the wires, right? So you got to follow. So like, look. How's it going, ITT? So here's your circuit. And they're just like, deal with it. So it's really some hours of... Because at the start, it's like this. Trying to see if the original owner of this... First of all, is there like a date code on this? I don't know how old this is. Well, they say they want Radio Shack batteries. Nope. No date. No date at all. Okay. Here we go. Gonna put this back together. So yeah, if you guys want some sort of videos on this kit, maybe on the box there's a kit, there's a date. Let's see. So it's made in China, so it's not that old. So it's not like 70s or anything like that. So China is already... The China connection makes it not as old. Nope, no date. No date. Yours didn't have any ICs. Can make many circuits, audio, radios. The only thing we learned this types of thing is the cardboard falls apart easy. Yeah. Types of spring makes very bad contact. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. It really... I don't know if we need a modern update, though. And the reason why is I think we have breadboards. I think you can start with breadboards. I think if you do an electronics course, I think the first couple things you do is you explain basic multimeter function, basic breadboard layout. Price of this kit would be 113 euros today. Yeah, no kidding. So you teach basic multimeter function, like basic, like wires go in here. This is check voltage. It's the difference between the two leads. This helps you test resistance. This helps you check if things are connected. How's it going, Mr. ISJ? Ian Scott Johnston. Just want to see if you're chatting on your main account. Yes, you are. So you guys can go to Ian's YouTube channel if you want to check him out. There you go. At some point, I'm going to make a directory of all electronics channels so that I can just link people to it. The 101 and 65 and 1 came out in 72. Can you still get these kits? Let's see. Let's head over to the Amazon. Electronics Science I don't know if you can. Electronic Science Kit. No problem, Ian. Thanks for coming by. I think, wow, they're really pushing these, aren't they? I don't know if you can still get them. There's like snap circuits, and that's fine too. I think it's a bit more limited. Your best recommendation: watch videos about what they're interested in learning. Difficult though. So when you're standing at the edge of the precipice, oh, there's a 60-in-1. You can still get some. 50 Canadian kopecks. 50 bucks. So the problem is, and I've experienced this, there's okay. In my view, let me write this down. New. So in my view, difficulty with learning new things. Okay. 1. Thrill of buying parts. No, yes, sort of. I used to go with my grandfather. So my grandfather worked at Honeywell. Before that, Sperry Instrumentations. He worked on airplane electronics. He didn't really impart that knowledge. He left work at work, but I remember going with him to Radio Shack to spend $1.99 on 5 resistors and $5 on a red LED. I do remember that. Okay, so first of all, the difficulty with learning new things is that you don't know what you don't know. Okay, so this makes it very difficult. Oh, can I change the numbering list? Bullets? No. Want it? Ugh, that's ugly. Hold on a sec. Sure. Okay. So, how's it going, Gerald? I knew you'd come by. So you don't know what you don't know. This means that it is very difficult to know what to look for, where to start, because you don't, you don't know what the options are. This is a big deal for me when I was learning, when I'm trying to learn to code. I don't know what the options are. And often, oh my God, can't we just? Often, the options are colored by, here, let's just, okay, the options are often colored by people who have a lot of experience but can't remember how it was to learn. So this is, thank you. Was to decide to build something, then learn the skills. Yeah, this is why I'm sort of leaning towards maybe kits are the best option. But case in point for this, okay, case in point for this is Python. Okay, start with our beginner's guide. Completely new to programming. Okay. Beginner friendly. Sure. Let's go here. How to learn Python. So here, there's a course, whatever. Why learn Python? Why this tutorial? Easy to read, plain English. Okay, cool. Some history. Okay. Yep. Graphics libraries, timeline, like run your first Python program, sure. But the deal is they, oh look, full of AI crap. Interesting. They will talk a big game. Like, people will talk a big game. Okay, well, why, here. Why learn Python? Okay. Why learn? Career opportunities. Okay, who cares? Why, right? The demand is increasing, sure. Sneak peek, data science. It's like, what does this have to do with picking Python to just learn coding, web development, scripting, libraries? Like, the thing is, nobody knows. Nobody knows what this is when they're, let's say you are a baker and you're just like, I want to just learn what coding is about. Like, who cares? Who cares about portable and extensible? Like, you know, it easy to use. Here's another bullshit. Simple syntax, easy to understand and learn. Yeah, if you already know coding, Python is simple. But the truth is, if you want to learn coding, you need to learn how to think like a coder, and then you look up the syntax. It's not simple. So this is a problem. 13-year-old, exactly, Luck Watcher. We need to devoid that. The person has already decided they want to learn. Right? They've already decided. I would argue that Arduino is a great place to learn coding. I would argue that Arduino is a great place to learn coding. I will say it. I would say starting with Arduino is a faster way to get coding results than learning Python. I have said it. Okay? Okay, so you don't know what you don't know. And that's also a problem because people will ask you, what aspects do you want to learn, and tell you to focus on that. So if you only heard about one aspect, that's the only one you can focus on. I don't know if I agree with that. I think we have tremendous capabilities to to learn. But I think the biggest roadblock, personally, I think the biggest roadblock to learning anything is when you have people who have spent years learning something tell you it's so easy. I think that's my problem. You slowly learn what you didn't know over the course. Yeah, exactly. Welcome to the stream, Josh Mellon. That's exactly what I mean. I am participating in boot.dev at the moment to learn to code. And a lot of people are commenting on their Discord, "Oh yeah, this part was easy. Don't worry, but that's easy. Just walk away from it for 5 minutes and come back, and then you'll get it." Okay? The thing is, they never ever include the fact that they already know so much. They came from a different language. They've been coding on and off for 5-10 years, right? It's not. So it's discouraging as someone who's trying to learn, constantly being told that, oh yeah, that part's not that bad, when it is that bad to you, right? Incredibly discouraging. Learn coding on the Arduino allowed you to see instant real-world results. Exactly, Locke. And actually, that is the reason I started in microcontrollers, because I needed a physical result. Yeah, exactly. The excitement has to be there. You are so right. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Used to manage software engineers at work, and the good guys had awesome skills, ways of looking at things. Yeah, I think so. Ian, I think that your mindset, right, will affect how fast you take to coding. I think your approach will definitely affect how fast you take to coding, and then how easy it becomes for you, for sure. But I do believe that you can train yourself into watch your eyeballs. For sure. But I think you can certainly train yourself. I think your coding skills are like everything else, it's a muscle. And yes, some people are built with bigger frames, they accept protein better, whatever. But also, if you put in twice as much effort, you'll eventually get results. I had a couple of students with disabilities, like serious learning disabilities, some of them with like neurological diseases. And I would say to those students, you need to start putting your learning into context. When you get 75% grade on a test, you need to be as proud as the students that get 100% on the test. And the reason is because it takes you 3 times the amount of work that these students, it takes them, right? So you need to start thinking about it like you have a harder time. So you need to be proud of your effort and not your results, but also your results. But I mean, for the most part, you know what I'm saying? 10% of humans have the brain wired for programming. Also, not all that actually works as developers has that wiring. One thing is, I had this debate with my lovely wife. What percent of the world do you think actively codes? Like, let's say codes once. Let's put this up there. What are your thoughts? What percentage of the general population in, let's say, North America and Europe, okay, what percentage do you think either actively codes as a job, codes as a hobby, or is learning to code? What percentage of the population do you think that is? Just curious what you guys' perception is. Same with 3D CAD, after you can visualize it. Yeah. So you say under 1%. So only got one vote right now. HSD 0971 says under 1%. What do you guys think? How many people we're talking about? North American, European. What's the percent of those people who either actively code for a job, for a hobby, or are learning to code? What's your thoughts? Only one answer. Couldn't begin to guess. The answer is somewhere between... Good morning, Jones. Welcome to the stream. It's cute and everything. I can tell you that when your brain doesn't want to learn... I disagree. I disagree. I have taught some people who told me they were unteachable. They were not unteachable. So the real answer is somewhere around 0.5%. Somewhere around 0.5%. And people who work in the field is like 0.1 or something percent. It's like tiny. Tiny. And that's between like researchers and data scientists and everything. You can code, but you're definitely not as good. You can jump between languages. So it's C++ and VB for you and nothing else. Yeah, I mean, that's fair. The thing is, too, don't forget that just doing something for work will give you insane results. Because in the end, you are flexing that muscle, 45 hours a week, every week. It's a lot. So I think I am going to jump on that journey. I have a couple journeys. Start out machine code, typed hex codes. Yeah. I mean, again, wanting is a relative term. Wanting is a relative term. I feel like the right combination of practical and theoretical and a good instructor, you'd be able to learn something that you don't want to learn. I mean, but want is a relative term. If you, for sure, if you, I mean, you're in charge in the end, right? You're in charge. There could be some disabilities that make it very, very difficult But if you spent genuinely 40 hours a week for 10 years on something, you'll learn it. You will learn it. I am telling you, I am struggling with coding. Struggling. But I am stubborn, and I will eventually force my brain into submission. I mean, just look. Your brain records everything, but when you need it, you can't get it. I will say, too, that I am using all the tools at my disposal, and I'm not making excuses. Like, it's just sometimes you just have to push through and use all your force of will, and it sucks, but eventually you will make it through. And like, this is coming from a guy who cannot math to save his life, and I've been slowly learning math. And in fact, so I'll tell you how my brain works a little bit. I cannot, like, Python for me is much more difficult than I expected because everything is implicit. Nothing is like spelled out. Everything is like, oh, don't worry, that's a built-in function, just use that. My brain has a very hard time with that. Like a very hard time with that. My brain is like, I need to know why. But that's not the reality of coding in Python. In Python, it's just like, whatever. The machine will decide. What type is this variable? Who cares? It might break your code later, but who cares? That's Python. It is like very bad for someone whose brain needs everything sort of neat and tidy. How's it going, Adam? Another win for starting with 8-bit Arduinos is most things are explicit. Yes, absolutely. Most things are explicit. So even when you do something like pin mode, there's no explanation that pin mode is a function. And in fact, it doesn't even matter that pin mode is a function. No one ever told me pin mode was a function. Okay? But it's just like this is how to set it. And then that's how I set it. And that was it. It doesn't matter that it's a function or not. Feels like I am explicitly setting the pin to be on or off. We went too far. We went too far, gang. Bring it back. There we go. Also, more I force get something done, brain doesn't want to do it. I mean, I get you. I get you, ITT. But I guess the point is the will. Is you can't let it win. And I think, given enough time, if you were locked in a room for 10 years with only, every single technical book on how to code, you would eventually learn how to code. I think that's it. You can disagree. We're allowed to not agree. Sounds like a nice break from reality. Yeah, sometimes. Sometimes don't you feel like it'd be fun to I don't know, just go away for a little while, just not exist for a little while. Yeah, let's agree not to agree. Yep. Yeah, we don't have to agree on everything. We can still be friends. You will sleep for 10 years and eat and only do... Yeah. Okay, whatever. We'll move on. Need to do programming to reach that goal, your brain. Yeah, that's the thing, right? There is something to be said about motivation. So you're saying that if you don't know how to bake a muffin, but the only way to escape a dungeon is to bake one acceptable muffin, you would just die. Is that what you're saying? I think you just need the proper motivation sometimes. You would just die. I don't think so. I believe more in you than you do. Anyways, we'll move on because there's no way to prove either way. We'll just move on. Because I know, I'm just going to say this one last thing. I know I am horrible at code, but if you locked me in a room and the only way out ever, the only way to go see my wife again is to code the C3P grow. It might take a couple of years, but I will code the C3P grow. There we go. That looks good. Oh. So yeah, this is just press fit in there. And in fact, I did want to add a little bit of a shim here. Yes, I think if I had enough good literature, okay, I'll put it even further. If I only had the C++ code reference and an Arduino IDE, given enough time, I would figure it out. It might take me years, but given enough time, I would figure it out. It would take me years. Reference documents suck ass. They are horrible. Okay, but ITT, if those projects could do something like bring you into perfect health, I think you would be spending 14 hours a day doing it. Because I know you have health issues. So if that project, like I don't know how to build a robotic arm with cycloidal gears and whatever, but if I lost my arm, and building a robotic arm would replace my arm, you bet your sweet Bippy I would be working tirelessly. I'd be Iron Man. I'd be Tony Stark. Working tirelessly on it. Nope, that's not good. I don't want it to... Just adding a little thickness. I think even more, like if my wife lost her arm, I would dedicate my entire YouTube channel to building her an acceptable arm. These live streams, they would be like prototyping arms and joints and all sorts of things. It's all about motivation sometimes. There we go. It's quite a bit tighter. Don't use PC anymore because there is the coating tool on it. Just, I mean, I don't want to be insensitive here, but at some point, just use AI. In fact, we're going to do a reveal of the Gemini code I generated after the stream yesterday on my college account, the pro account. So I keep using the college account until they disable it. Usually you get access for a couple months after your contract ends, so you can like still respond to emails and whatever. But eventually I will run out of the paid professional Gemini. But honestly, it did it first try. And I'll show you guys. Oh, I made a mistake. I need to run some wires in there. So essentially, we need to test it to make sure it works, because I can't read it. It's like freaking dense. But C3P Grow seems to be complete. Okay, so let's okay. Let's get these in. So I'm just going to run these wires into the frame through the side here. Get out of the way. And then this one. There we go. Now we can close up the lid. I think ITT, honestly, if you just want your projects to happen, just use AI. It's so liberating. You know, then you can focus on the things you are good at. But the other thing is, I've been doing boot.dev, but I found that boot.dev got too complicated too fast. It left me behind. So I've been using AI to just emulate boot.dev, and I've been doing projects that are in between what the boot.dev projects are. So it's really helpful. It's really helpful to do the in-between tasks, and then I can rejoin the project after. All right, so here we go. This is fully done. I go voltage 5 volts, current, let's go 5 amps. Do the AI thing, yeah. Yeah, especially with Gemini Pro, you're allowed a couple of uses of Pro daily. So use it. Get your projects done so you can use your computer again, you know? Get that shit across the line. That's one thing about the YouTube channel, Electronic Wizard. That's one thing about the YouTube channel, is that I'm constantly having to do things on a deadline. So, on. There we go. So that is on. So, perfect is the enemy of good. You make it, you ship it, you move on to the next one. And you can always, there's also a nice term that I like, is make it exist and then make it good. Just start by making it exist. So I'm going to check if this is 5.2 now. Nope. 5.3. Yeah, 5.3. Is that sideways? So is my matrix sideways? Black hole. Colored bursts. So how do I know where the top corner is? Like where is LED 1? How do you know that? Frizzles. The camera is having a hard time because it thinks everything's out of focus because everything's all pixelated. Funky Plank. Ghost Rider. Lower left corner of the display at the moment. This is pixel 1, you think? Oh, left. This one. Because I think my matrix starts, I think the matrix starts here. But I'm not sure if I set it properly in the, I don't know if I set it properly in the settings. Halloween eyes. Nothing? Is it dead? We are at, hello, McFly? We are at 300 milliamps, but it's not doing anything. Hypnotic. That's nice. Julia. We'll do random cycle. Super cool, huh? Can make some very weird looking lettuce. Lisa juice. Lisa juice. I don't know what that is. Matrix. Ah, okay, so it's definitely rotated. So it's definitely rotated because this is my bottom. So yeah, this is rotated. That's weird, huh? Because here, so this, there's pads here, and there's pads here. So why would they put pads there and there? And also the terminating resistor is here. The resistor is there. And the D in goes up to here. That's weird, huh? So really, I would want this rotated 90 degrees. There we go. So you guys can't see that, but it's pretty. Okay. Meatballs. No, meta balls. I think I did that last time too. I love those. Yeah, that looks better. Upper left corner now. Okay. Looks like upper right corner though. Is there just like a line? Blink, solid, Android, Aurora. Aurora is really cool. Dissolve. Crazy bees. Color waves. Oh boy. I think color waves would be good at slower speed. Yeah, like that. I wish it was more of a fade, but whatever. Fairy, default. Fire 2012. That looks good. Let's see, spark rate, 2D blur. More blur. Blur song 2. Right to left, hard to tell for sure. Yeah. Fire flicker. Fill noise. Don't know what that's doing. Fairy twinkle. Frequency pixels. Oh, that's sound response. Flow stripe. What? Glitter. Down. No. Up. Yeah, I know. I don't want to go change the settings. Halloween eyes is not working. I see you. Well, there, that should be pretty clear, right? It's like not working though. Weird. Lake. Loading. Yeah, so it's going left to right. Affect speed, slow it right down. I mean, right to left. But the question is the line appearing or is the line disappearing? Matripix. Noise. Are we maxing out the power supply? No, that's 1.3 amps. Noise 2D. Can boost brightness. Go! I don't know if you guys can perceive that. We are at, yeah, 1.3 amps still. Pacifica. My other right, yeah. I do often confuse my right from left. Phased. Looks so good. Perlin move. I can't believe it does all this on like the shittiest ESP you can get. Nearly the shittiest. I guess 8266 is not as powerful. These are polar lights. Pride 2015. Can we have a pride moment in chat? Pulsar. Assuming our panels are the same, I would guess the orientation would be determined by the text. Yeah, I thought that too, but it turns out I have to turn it 90 degrees. Pulsar. Rain. Rain is not doing anything now. Oh, there we go. Spawn rate up, effect speed down. Ripple. Oh, that's pretty cool. Let's use like a water effect. Roto zoomer. Yeah, 8266 can do it. Scrolling text. Oh, you can write text? Oh, my panel's upside down. It's now clear. Okay, so how do I now configure this? 2D configuration. First LED, top right. Save. Does that work now? Back. Scrolling text. Scrolling text. Yes. There we go. How do I write the text? Overlay. Gradient. I don't know how to fix this. Trail, font size, rotate. Where can I put text? Do you guys know where I can add the text? Because this is the effect controls here, but there's like no text. There's rotate, font size, trail, Y offset, effect speed. Gradient, overlay, and reverse. Can I? No. Kind of late. Yeah, YouTube sucks. File editor? What does that do? Oh God, take me out of here. Pixel magic tool. So I don't know how to change the text. WLED code is in JSON. Sign. Nice. Random cycle. Soap. I don't know why that's soap. Spaceships. Squared swirl. Sun radiation. Tartan. Oh yeah. Default. Do they have one called Knight Rider with a K? No. They go right from J to L. Washing machine. That took a while to load. Waverly. Waving cell. It's pretty freaky. Okay, so that project is done. I'm probably gonna hire my wife to take some B-roll of this. I'll have it on a bookshelf and she'll be reading nearby, so be some nice living room shots. And then we can make the video. So that's nice. That one works. All right. So, oops. Need to modify the, yeah, no thanks. Pass. Hard pass. Oh, it looks, you guys can't see this properly, but it looks so pretty in person. It's like, I'm gonna have this plugged in whenever I'm in the living room. I think this will be my living room decor. It looks so good. And just to think that I designed this whole box except for the the micro or whatever and the front. Let's see if I got the cable is pinched in there. Let's see if I can get it free. Could short something, so it could be interesting. There we go. That looks really good. Could use a little more diffusion because I can see the individual pixels, but it's not too bad. And right now it's taking 6.5 watts. So it is a very reasonable amount of current to take. So 1.3 amps. A decent USB brick will bring you there. Can't be a bad one. It has to be a decent one. It's a little warm. That's not bad. And if you guys don't know, when you power cycle it, it will turn off. Like it'll go back to default solid color. So what you do is you add a playlist on load. Quick load label 1, sure. Okay, then you can have it cycle through a couple things. How do you make it? How do you I don't know how to add it. Oh wait, okay. Hang on. Sure, save. So you have to add presets. So like waving cell, preset, save, and then you can add another preset. So let's pick another one. So we'll go back to webcam. We'll go octopus. I'm going to save it to preset. Save. And then let's say, and then random cycle. There we go. So plus preset, save. And then in your octopus, and then waving cell, repeat indefinitely, apply at boot, save, and now, yeah, but I like the brightness. It's my favorite part. So now, if I turn it off and turn it back on, it should cycle. So power off. Oh, you guys can't see shit. And then power on. Should cycle through the 3 presets we set. Hey, what are you doing? Unload. It should go through the presets. Why didn't it go through the presets? Repeat indefinitely, save. It should have turned on. So off, on. Why you no work? Uh-oh. Screen. So it says apply at boot. Your program kept hitting blocks in OS X. I'm not sure what you mean. Test. It's not even working on test. Okay, this works. This works. And this works. So this should cycle every 10 seconds. But it's not. I love the brightness. So I will, in fact, I kind of want to boost it more. Apply at boot. Save. Oh, we test. It's not working. Weird. I'm just reading here. It's not working. New Stargate show will be filming in the UK. Very nice. Apply preset 1 at boot. But my preset doesn't work. Okay. I'll just trash this one. Oops. I'm going to delete this one completely. Okay. So plus playlist. On load. Quick load label. Save to ID 1. That's okay. Okay. Plus octopus. Plus yes. Apply at boot. Save. Preset not found. Seems to work now. No, I'm not at 256 brightness. All right, so let's see if it switches. Doesn't seem to be working. All the previous planets look like Vancouver. That's funny. Yeah, this isn't working at all. Okay, I'm gonna delete all my presets. Delete, delete, delete. Okay, let's pick a couple different ones. So this guy. So this is Akemi. Save to ID 2. Save. This is black hole. Save to ID 3. Save. And we'll go blobs. Save to ID 4. Save. Okay, and then I'll go plus playlist, save to ID 1. Okay, so it starts with Akemi, then black hole, then blobs. Apply a boot, test. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, this one's working. It switched. First one, yeah, old school, yeah. I think that's what it's supposed to look like. Save. Okay, everything's saved properly. So now, if I power it off and power it on, okay, here we go. It's on the default orange. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. We're using 750 milliamps to just display orange, which is fine. If I click it, does it work? Loading preset. Not working. Not working. I don't know. Is it because it's the C3 and the C3 is crap? Aren't you glad I started today? No. Turns out I'm too tired to deal with this, so I'm not going to. So we're not filming this video today. In fact, I will say I am really exhausted, so stream might end early, but before any ideas of ending, because I've been out of bed since like 5, before there's any ideas of ending, I have to show you the new code for C3P Grow, and I would like to test it. I don't know if we will manage. Yeah, Adam, that's why I'm learning programming, so I can deal with everything that seems to be broken at all times. Okay, so we just need to retrieve our wires here. But you know what? WLED is a free, open, I think it's open source. I don't know if it's open source. Definitely free software. So I'm not going to complain about it. What I would like to do is figure out the problem and then fix it for them. But I am a code dummy. So I cannot help them. This is why I'm learning to code. Eventually, I will help them. I will help everyone. I would really love to do like full day live streams going to open source projects and fixing bugs. There are so many things I would improve about FreeCAD. I'd love to fix it. Because if you think about it, if you want a CAD package, it's almost nonsensical to start from scratch, right? Like if I say I have a much better way to do CAD, it's almost nonsensical to start from scratch. You would just fork FreeCAD. Or you would just fix FreeCAD. It doesn't make any sense to... This thing is a little girthy. It's heavy. So I would make improvements to FreeCAD if I had the ability, which I do not. Okay, we need our power pack. Oh, we still have our 5 volts on. I'm going to turn off 5 volts, set the voltage to 12. And there we go. Apparently, the code has the OLED working. Limit some AutoCAD functions to KiCad. Yeah, me too. Although they did really good work with bringing like DXF or like basically graphic stuff to KiCad, which was really nice. But that's the thing, you need someone who is passionate about it and who knows how to code. And that's difficult to have that combination sometimes. Because I love KiCad. It's one of those software packages that just frickin' works. It just works. You can make PCBs now. It's not that difficult to learn. It is, I mean, it has a learning curve like everything else. But I think there's not a lot of obtuse things about it. FreeCAD, however, has so many obtuse things about it. So many things you have to just work around. And that's fine, because it's free, but I would like to fix it. There we go. Okay, so if we power this on, okay, should have, yeah, this one's on, and these are off. Okay, so that makes sense. Are these relays going to run on mains voltage lighting? Low voltage, no, low volt LEDs, 12 volt LEDs in fact. I don't want to be responsible for setting anybody's house on fire. So in fact, I will even say in the video that you have to use fused leads here. You have to use fused leads here. But the point is, it's going to work. All right. So, yes. So this one's on. You notice how this one turned on. That's because of the time. So 192.168.2. Ta-da! So this is it. ESP or C3P Grow. I actually changed this in the latest update of the code. Okay, so you set the start time. You set how long the device stays on and how often the cycle repeats. So relay 0 is the lights. You may be able to buy some low-cost mains voltage LED strips and modify them. Well, I have 12 volt LEDs. Anyways, you just go 12 volt grow light, and then you take your pick. See, these are 12 volts. That's 12 volts. That's 12 volts. You take your pick, you know? So, lights, relay 0. Start time, 6 a.m. Duration, 16 hours. Repeat every 24 hours. For the pump, relay 1. Start time, midnight. Duration, 15 minutes. Do that every 2 hours. Auxiliary relay, relay 2. This is just defaults. And then relay 3, midnight. Start, run for half an hour every 4 hours. So in principle, it is now 9:36. So we can say, here, start at 0, and then we'll just do a duration of 24, and 24, go 0, 24, and 24, 0, and 24, and 24. And then we should save this, and all the relays should turn on. So you ready? You guys can't really see that. Let me just... Ugh. I don't have my mouse here. I have to shade this. How can you guys see this? Okay, can make shade like that, so you guys can see. Shade from my lights. That you can't see. Dang damn it. Dang it all to heck. Okay, here we go. Need to build something up here. Okay, there's so these should all come on when I save. So save settings. Oh, look at that, they all come on. They all come on. C3P Grow. C3P Grow lives, and I can also test the OLED and the button. So the button here will turn on the OLED from sleep, and it'll give you stats about which relays are on and stuff like that in the schedules. So this was first try Google Gemini Pro. It made a website, it connected to Wi-Fi, everything, first try. The only other thing that that I had to do was I asked it to refine the website because it looked a little bit like ass. So now it looks better. And then I asked it to set defaults on the website as well. So yeah, this thing works. It freaking works. I did it. Me. I did all the design. The only thing I didn't do is the code. But if you ask an AI artist, I used my special prompt to get it to this point. Obviously, I'm just kidding, but there we go. C3P Grow. Now, am I ready to make a video on this? Hell no. I need to get the pump in order. I need to 3D print like the top that'll go over the bucket. So I've got a lot of work to do, but do you know how much of a relief it is that this thing right now, I can go and install this right now, and I can make it control a grow, the hydroponics grow station. Yes, ITT. It grabs NTP time. It's connected to my Wi-Fi. It grabs NTP time. The NTP time synchronizes with the RTC inside the C3, and then essentially it checks to see if the times are proper for the relays and stuff, and then it turns on the stuff as it goes. So yeah, it does all of that. It works. Can you believe it? It freaking works. It works. It absolutely works. So today, the plan is to go to the hardware store, not Home Depot for reasons that I won't get into. I'll go to Rona. And then I'm going to get a bucket, and then I'm going to 3D print covers that'll accept these. And then I will get a pump. I have a pump somewhere. Let me see if I can find my pump. And then I need to do the physical build of the LEDs, which I might do on stream with you guys. Why not? See if I can find my pump while I'm at it, since I have to look for it anyways. Pump? Is there a pump in here? Yes, there is a pump in here. Yarsha Rona instead of just Rona. So here is a pump. This is a windshield washer fluid pump, but any pump will do. Just the point is to agitate the water. So here's a 12-volt pump. So this will just sit inside the water, and it'll just circulate the water. I think you have to spray it towards the top just to aerate the water. You haven't seen a Rona? There's a couple in Ottawa. So yeah, here's a pump. There are also like tons. I'll just order one from Amazon too, because there's submersible pumps. So maybe it's best for me to get an actual submersible one. But yeah, that's the deal. And then for LEDs, I need to do some research a little bit, because it feels like a lot of the grow lights, they don't use like proper grow LEDs. What they do is they use this kind of stuff. So this lights up red and blue. Let me put this down somewhere. So this stuff lights up red and blue. Oh, I got a little dizzy there. Output and ground. Right, this should be powered, so this should be fine. Forgot you were rebuilding your program. Oops. Okay, the ends are here. Anyways, doesn't matter. That's in there. There we go. So I'll probably put like a couple of rows of these, and then a couple of rows of the like white LEDs. So I'll have this for the correct, they need that red and the blue spectrum, and then I'm gonna have more rows. This here right now is pulling 3.5 amps, which is not much. So 3.5 amps worth of this stuff, and then some white LEDs. And really, I can just vary them, because I can use, an auxiliary relay. UVIRV white. I'm not sure what you're saying there, but anyways, although because white LEDs have a lot of blue spectrum, so I'll just pump, I'll pump some color in there, but also I'll pump some white light. And for the white, I have all sorts of white. So I have these high color rendering index white lights. I have these just bright white LEDs. And then I also have this thing, which is like continuous strip. So this stuff is pretty crazy. It's pretty bright stuff. So essentially probably going to make like a Blood Admiral Akbar. I know who Admiral Akbar is, but I don't know what Blood Admiral Akbar means. And I would ask, but I feel like it's a trap. So here's the white strip this way. Yep. So we're up to, oh, that's very low current. So I'm at 3.2 amps with these. Oh, these are warming up. Okay, hang on. So yeah, these are there's like 38 watts in here. But these lights, this is barely drawing any current. This is super low current. Here, 12 volt and ground. So, okay, now we're at 4 point something amps. So that makes more sense. This is not bright enough. I don't like this. Anyways, I might order some more stuff for this, just to get a good sense of it. I'll turn this off because they're getting hot. These things are outputting, that's 30 watts. Yeah, I know. But it's super cold in here, so they're only like moderately warm. So yeah, essentially I'm going to make sort of like a plywood stand, and then I will have a raising and lowering light, and then these guys will go over. And the cool thing about this is it's scalable. This is interesting, they're getting warm. So this is drawing 2 watts right now with all the relays on. So not very much. And don't forget, the relays are 12 volts. So the relays being, they're relatively stable. I mean, a bistable relay would be better. I think ITT mentioned that once. But these are 12 volts, so they won't be drawing power from this guy. So that's good. This is replaceable. I mean, I'm so happy with this project at the moment. I just have a lot of hard work to do, like, I need to do a lot of CAD work. So yeah, that's my project. So I think I'm going to take my success and just leave it there for now. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to relax for the rest of the day. I'll be back tomorrow, and the plan will be to film this video tomorrow. All these strips that you bought came in clear tubes. You might be able to do similar, 3D print some LED strip holders. I think I'm just going to tape it onto the board, to be honest. I think they're self-adhesive, but I usually put a dab of crazy glue. So I'm going to stick this to plywood. I would like metal, but metal is expensive, like very expensive. Paint the board. Like plywood? I mean, I might do that, might not. Don't forget, the hydroponic system is closed, so there's no extra humidity from the board. So keep that in mind. But anyways, I will, I think I'm going to leave it here. It will stick better. Yeah, okay, true. And I want to thank you guys all for watching. I appreciate you all. And I'll catch you on the tomorrow one. I'll try to be more organized so we can, make a video tomorrow. See you guys.